Right, I'm here with Martin Burt, who is the founder of Fundacion Paraguaya, and want to hear from you, Martin, about, first, just tell us about Fundacion Paraguaya. Where do you work? How do you work? How many clients do you work with?
Yes, thank you, Larry. Very happy to be here. We are a nonprofit social enterprise that we started in Paraguay 35 years ago with the country's first microfinance program. And we have now expanded our reach to every single town in the country. We have 70,000 micro enterprises in Paraguay. We are responsible for the systems change in Paraguay to allow all the banks and finance companies to lend to the poor. So microfinance is a part of the banking industry here in Paraguay. And pretty much we are reaching we have remained a nonprofit organization to reach those who are still unbankable. Native American, our Native American indigenous tribes and our rural population, or some people living in our urban slums. And so we are committed. We are the only and the biggest village bank program in Paraguay, with more than 50,000 women organized around 3,500 village banks who work like a clock. They have more than $1 million in savings. They have more than 10 million or $15 million in loan portfolio. And they start with $40 loans, and they grow, and they are a sense of women's empowerment and women's training and education platform. So everything was going fine until we got hit by this storm called coronavirus. So we're in the middle of dealing with this nightmare, with this crisis.
So tell me about how the coronavirus has hit Paraguay. How do you have cases of it there, and how is the government responding?
Well, the government of Paraguay was one of the first governments in Latin America to actually do something about it. So they closed down the country. They declared curfew. We have a lockdown. So our microfinance offices and all the offices in the country are closed down except for supermarkets and pharmacies. So we have an issue now that we have made a commitment never to fail our clients. And just like they were there for our institution to grow and prosper, we are going to be there until we have the last cent. We have condoned or postponed their payments for the month of March, April, and May without any types of penalties, which is just kick the can forward. Of course, we know.
So before we get too much into your responses, tell me how it affects them. How has the shutdown affected your clients and their ability to earn income?
Well, we have all sorts of small businesses, but think of a lady who sells ice to a taco truck or an equivalent of beef sandwiches stands in the street. She cannot go door to door anymore. He cannot be selling his sandwiches in the street. So basically, we have a paralysis, an atomic bomb that has hit these street vendors, and the police and the army are patrolling the streets. So these people get arrested or sent back home. So they are desperate. We are working hard with the government to do something about it, but our seamstresses are not getting orders. Our street vendors cannot roam the streets. Our shopkeepers cannot keep their shops open. People are not allowed to go to the stores except for certain designated supermarkets. So it is a very, very serious problem. And if these people do not sell, they do not eat.
That's what I was wondering. How do they eat now when there's no income?
So they're scrambling, and they're asking their neighbors in case somebody has a job. But the whole economy has stopped, and we are just bracing ourselves for the worst that's still to come.
Okay, so what as an organization committed to these people, what are you doing in response?
Well, we are working on two levels. We're working on the policy level. As we speak, Congress is working on a piece of legislation that will give emergency support to the informal sector of the economy. In fact, it was our proposal that they be given either food kits or they be given a stipend via their cell phones or local banks, so that they can have the equivalent of a half a minimum wage or even a fourth of a minimum wage, just so that they have something to eat. We have asked buildings not to be able to kick people out or evict people if they don't pay rent. We are also having the government power company and water company not being able to cut the power or the water or the telephone in case somebody cannot pay. So we have that kind of measures at the policy level. And at the grassroots level, we have all our loan officers working 24/7, communicating by phone or WhatsApp with our 70,000 clients, of which 60,000 are women, telling them that not to worry, that we will always be there with them. And of course, they are continue to borrow money. We know that some of that money is not going to go to any business. It's going to go to an emergency food ration. And we're saying, fine, you and I would do the same thing. If we could borrow money to feed our family, of course we would do that. And so we have to be very compassionate at this point, and we have to put ourselves in the shoe of that mother, single mother of 2 children, oldest 2.5, youngest 3 months, who needs to generate $10, $15 a day to feed the kids. And that is where we're at. So we're trying to make sure that we're there. We are lucky that our board of directors is 100% with us, and that we know we're going to take a very substantial hit, both in delinquency, in arrears, in non-earned income for the next 3 months, and that we're going to crash. But we will be there, and this is what we need to do. Why would only our clients crash if we are a 100% service organization?
Right. And so you said you also told your clients no payments for 3 months?
Yes, we told them that they don't need to pay if they can't. They don't need to pay. If they can pay, and they can get a new loan. So some of them are doing that, and we're going to see how far we can go. We're also allowing them to renegotiate or refinance their loans without any type of penalties.
Okay.
And no more pain than they are already suffering themselves.
Right.
So we are getting a very, very good response, because it seems that we're one of the very few organizations who are having this type of approach to when the crisis really affects the family. So in exchange, we are gaining in fidelity, we're gaining in client loyalty, and we hope that this is going to also be a good publicity for us at the end of the day.
And I find that in times like these, that organizations that have contacts in all the communities play an important role in getting information out, that people don't have good trusted sources of information, and that organizations can play that role. How are you doing that?
Well, we are in fact, as we speak, we are assembling our lists of all our clients by different counties and different cities, so that we can provide the government with the list of the working micro enterprises or self-employed people, so that we make sure that they have access to the government food kits or to the government cash subsidies. We don't want precisely the poorest of the poor to miss out on these things, which is typical thing, because they don't have information.
Right.
The day before yesterday, we were actually working in some Native American indigenous villages and some very, very poor community, handing out food kits in addition to seeds so that they can start we're starting a massive vegetable garden initiative so that everybody starts growing their own food in their backyards or in planters inside the house, because in 40 days they can start harvesting their beans or their tomatoes, or so that we can start having some hope, because people are going to say this government handout may finish, and so we need to grow some potatoes, some cassava, some tomatoes, some vegetables, some precisely beans. Mm-hmm. And so we're working also, and we're also handing out hygiene, soap, gel, masks for the people. And we're having a situation where a lot of people are quarantined in their homes, but there's no room in their homes.
Right.
Now that the kids are there because they can't go to school because all the schools have closed down. So what do you do having 3 children and 1 grandmother in the bed and the television roaring and everybody eating, and they don't even fit in the dining room table, which is 1 square yard. So it's a complicated thing, but we're gonna, we're dealing with this crisis on a daily basis. We do have an excellent information system of a pyramid that reaches a base of 70,000 homes. Mm-hmm. And we're urging the government to take a holistic approach and not just and ask neighbors what they can do for other neighbors, and not treat people as if they're some sort of dormant, passive individuals. No, people want to help, and some people can help more than others, and some people need more help than others. But in general, people are willing. In fact, I was looking for volunteers for our local food bank here in Paraguay also, because the food banks are running out of people to set up the kits to deliver to the organization that they're supporting. So we're working more than ever, very, very long days, but very fulfilling days, because we hope we're doing the right thing.
Right. And you point out that there's this dual role that organizations like yours have to play at this time. One is, addressing the needs of your clients, helping them address their own needs, helping them understand what's happening and how they can respond to it. But the other is then turning around and advocating to the government, saying, we're in touch with these people. This is what needs to happen. These are people you can't forget.
Yes, because the government tends to want to work on the macroeconomic international loans and central bank and just for the corporations. There's a whole bunch of people who don't work for companies, but are associated with the economy. And we don't want government to come here and says, okay, we will only provide support for those people who can send us a PDF copy of their last tax return. Give me a break. Give me a break. So we're trying to make the government sensitive that these people have never been even given an opportunity to finish 6th grade. So don't come to me now that you need them to be fully literate to be able to fill a form that they sometimes can barely read and write. So I think that the government is very afraid now. They're scared. I told them, do not ask people to stay at home if you don't add that the food is coming. You cannot do that. It's unfair, and it is very insensitive, and it actually sounds like a diabolical joke. This is, excuse me, what do you mean stay at home?
Right.
And what's because
they hear starve at home instead.
Exactly. What does that mean? And and just like our own borrowers have a first responsibility to themselves before they have a responsibility to us, they also have a responsibility to take care of their own family.
Right.
And so this is the normal situation. So here in Paraguay, we're a small country. We have only 2 deaths and 23 cases. Of course, we know that there's so much underreporting. We probably have 10 more, maybe we have 200. We do not have, we only have 700 beds in ICU units in the countries, and they're all taken. They're all taken because we had a dengue fever outbreak last year. So the government is rushing to create new ICUs. Even if the government gets money to build ICUs, we don't have trained professionals to man them. So it is a new discovery. And so I think that the coronavirus is our new teacher.
Right.
It's going to teach us about who we are, how we deal with truly needy, how we deal with our friends, how we realize that we are the ones who are risking other people's, and we are the ones who can contaminate others. It's not that the other people are going to come in and infect us. We are the carriers, and we have to take care of others. So it's an interesting journey. It's part of life, and this is not new. It's happened in every generation. So it's the challenge that we have, and I hope that we are going to learn a lot.
Right, because this is a threat that we all face together. So we're learning we have to all work together to solve it.
Exactly, and we're lucky that every single client of ours has a smartphone, has a Facebook page, has a WhatsApp. So it's a new type of challenge. Maybe, who knows, the coronavirus is also a product of our technological development. Who knows what kind of imbalance we have in the atmosphere or in the climate that awoken this deal. But the point is that we need to learn, and hopefully the best of us is yet to come.
Right.
But I think that the whole microfinance industry in the world has to refocus on the moral compass on why we are in this business to begin with. It is not fair to have publicity in our annual reports with beautiful women from the global south with colored outfits, and then at the end of the day, we're more worried about the equity of our microfinance banks and the health of our investors, and not the health of our clients.
Right.
So I really, really hope the microfinance industry puts all the chips on the table, every single chip and saying, we are in this boat together, and if our clients go down, we are not going to cash in and go in and invest that money somewhere. That would be a true sad thing. Many microfinance banks made money in the good years. Now is the time to stick it out in the bad years, or else it would be just one more proof of greedy capitalism that doesn't have to be that way. Capitalism has to work for everybody, and we're trying to coin a no capitalism society where everybody flourishes at the same time. So let's hope that this can be an opportunity to raise everybody's consciousness, including ourselves, and see who we really are and why did we get involved with the micro enterprises to begin with. Did we see them as little, did we see them as people with souls that needed to be supported with a compassionate embrace, or did we see them as a little cash machines where we would, that would be sad. I know that it's going to happen. I know that's going to happen, but hopefully there is a commitment to the people in this bad year that the whole microfinance industry can show with pride that the year 2020 was a year where all the microfinance institutions lost money for the good reason.
Right.
Hopefully that can be a historical year like that.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, I appreciate you sharing what you're doing and your encouragement to all of us working in this, that this is the reason we're here.
Yeah. Good luck. Thank you, Larry, for your leadership in this arena also. And let's see what happens. It's going to be an interesting journey, and we're going to leave our skin in the barbed wire But
Right.
that's why we came. That's why we came. Okay, so
Yep.
thank you very much.
Thank
and
you.
good luck to you, Larry.
Thank you. You too.